Recording connection available. There we go. We are live.
We are live. Yippee! Thank goodness. Hello, everybody. Wow, doesn't Tuesday seem to razz around quickly?
It's like trash night, isn't it? When you take the bins out, you're like...
Take the bins out and you know the trash man's coming in the morning.
It's another week.
Yeah. Well,
it's another world.
I'm your trash man. I'm your trash man, baby. So I hope you're all surviving the weather, the World Cup, Wimbledon, Brexit, the Tour de France, and all that fun stuff that's going on out there, you know, where the real people live.
Audio's good.
Can you believe that they put the Tour de France and Wimbledon and the World Cup all
the World Cup. And
at
the
the same
Queen
time?
meeting with that person
Well,
I'm not going to talk about.
Trump-free zone.
Yeah, and a weekend of Brexit for Theresa May, and I know, what a busy time. It's
Boris. Boris is gone.
Boris. Oh, Boris is gone. Yes, Boris always wanted to be Prime Minister. I wonder if he'll have another go. Oh,
I think so. I
think I said we were going to be a politics-free zone this week, PFZ.
Yes, indeed.
So I'll stop talking about Boris and Theresa May and all that stuff. Okay. Wasn't it wonderful to see the wonderful news this morning, all those brave people that got those kids out, and the trainer and all the people who risked their lives to go in and get them. What an incredible international effort that was.
Amazing.
It was wonderful. I just hope those poor children will get some peace. Who am I kidding? But, you know, to reunite with their families and calm down. And they were just so brave and so incredible. Imagine them being in the dark for all those nights before even anybody got in with flashlights.
I think it was like 18 or 19 days before they found them.
Just amazing.
And they're like 2.5 miles, 4 kilometres in and down. And then apparently it's normally, yes, Corrie, it is brilliant news. Hi, Elisa. And, you know, when you go in there spelunking, I don't know where that verb came from, it's absolutely dead dark. I mean, I'm sure they had torches, but after 18 days, those batteries were not out.
I'm sure they'd have run out of battery power or whatever they had.
So you were telling me Elon Musk was up to...
Oh, yeah, I know. He actually built a small little submarine, child size, and had people, all his people from SpaceX work all last weekend, testing it out in somebody's swimming pool with a volunteer child, but the mother of that child was holding her breath. But then he shipped it out on his own dime, bless him.
God love him.
Yeah, and got it out there within 16 hours. I don't think they used it, but nevertheless, the offer was there.
Well, they might need it again.
Yeah, I know, but his mother must be so proud of him. Yeah.
Yep.
And he must be so proud of her. She's gorgeous. She's modelling.
So May Musk, if you're watching, we'd love to have you as a guest.
Oh, yes, I'd love to meet you. And we're almost neighbours. I think you live in Manhattan Beach. We live in Playa, so let's do something about it, baby.
So what's next on the weekly?
Oh, well, today, I mean, I'm just so excited. We're going to be talking to Melissa Manchester.
Yay!
I know. And, you know, I want to chat about her career, and she's off to New York at the end of this week to do 3 nights at Feinstein's. And, oh gosh, she's got so much going on. She's got a wonderful new record out. But thanks again to Amanda Kagan of ABC PR who set that up.
Yep, she's our rock star.
She's working it for us. And one of our
I wish we could afford her.
I wish we could afford you, Amanda. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge, wink, wink. But no, another recent guest that she found for us and sorted out was Mike Portnoy of Sons of Apollo. And he met with my step-granddaughter, Benna McCartney, last week in Brighton. They had a little get-together after the show and sent lovely photographs. And just so nice when you feel that you can, you know, the world's getting smaller all the time, isn't it?
Yeah.
But Benna and Mike had a little meeting after the show, and he posted a lovely picture.
Yeah.
So that's great, because it just feels like, you know, the world's getting smaller. And
behold the power of
TeaFlix.
TeaFlix,
Exactly.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah.
Bringing
a massive, you know, massive. Well, no comment.
That's the chocolate biscuits.
Yeah. Oh, I know. Yeah. Friday the 13th this week.
Uh-oh.
It's always a very significant date for. I'm only superstitious about sleeping 13 in a bed.
That's good.
That's good. I've been there, done that, but not lately.
Ooh, saucy.
But this week is no exception because the person we're not going to talk about is having afternoon tea with the Queen.
Tea with the Queen, that well-known typing error.
Typographical error, Her Majesty the Queen.
Indeed.
That's not an original. I stole that from Monty Python. But yeah, they're having afternoon tea. I wish it was Mrs. McCartney's teas, but
that'd be good.
Never mind. And I believe the First Lady's going with him. If she got any sense, she will. And I hope they have a little protocol sheet to give her so that she doesn't sort of, grab her or he doesn't grab her or, you never know, do you, with these people. But I'm sure it'll go down bigly. Bigly it will indeed.
It's not Bigelow's, it's Bigley tea.
Bigley tea, yeah. I tell you what, though, you'd have to be from another planet not to have been aware of the World Cup, which we won't talk about because right now I think somebody's playing a game and Martin's giving me the evil eye not to talk about it, or he's going to go home and watch it later.
So Martin's watching the broadcast here. If anybody knows the score, do not post it.
Don't mention it, and don't mention the war.
I mentioned
it once and I think I got away with it.
It will be immediate broadcast interruption should that happen.
Oh, yeah, immediate blackout, I know, yeah. But what about the Russia thing last week with, what was it? Who were the little people from... Oh, the Croatians, I'm sorry, I called you little people.
It's a small country.
Small country, yeah.
They recently had the entire nation carpeted.
Carpeted, yeah, end to end. But we were at a local pizza place picking up some to-go food, and there was a gentleman in there who said that evidently just down the road from us, I think it's Torrance or one of the local districts, there's a huge... community of Croatian people.
I thought you were going to try and say Croatian population after a cocktail.
Oh, I have to have a cocktail first. Give that a try. But they were so thrilled. And a lady who used to be my boss at USA Today, Carole Head, was actually in Croatia in the town square watching it on the big screen as it happened. So that must have been a great feeling.
Wow.
So good on you, Carole. Hey, aren't you glad you're not still working at the 9 to 5 USA Today job, so you can go out and do these things? And I know you're doing a lot of other wonderful things, which I'll talk to you about, and maybe you'll come and talk to us. So anyway, listen, enough of my waffling. Let's get our techie kids to see if we can connect.
Just is watching, and she's
she's
in the right way of technology. And there she is.
Hi.
Hi.
This is the wonderful lady you attended.
Hello.
Hello, Melissa. Good morning. Thank you for joining us.
Hello, how are you? Good morning.
Hi. I'm very excited to talk to you because I've been a big fan. Oh, God, have you ever heard that before? I'm one of your biggest fans.
That's lovely. Thank you very much. Thanks.
Yeah. So I know I've been looking about all your background, musical family, and, your father soon played with the New York Metropolitan, wasn't he? And
yes,
yeah,
Metropolitan Opera.
Yeah, amazing. And you look so young. You make me feel so young.
I'm young at heart.
But you've done it all. Well, nearly all, and you're still out doing it. I know you've worked with Barry Manilow and sonatas and full orchestras and songwriting and wow. So many.
What I'd like to know, this is Ruth from behind the camera. What I'd like to know is the whole, when you went to school, the whole Paul Simon hookup. You were very, very privileged to get into his class, right?
Yes, I was. Yes, friends of mine signed my name up for a class that Paul Simon was teaching about on songwriting and record production, and he auditioned everybody himself. Bridge Over Troubled Waters was #1 all over the world at the moment, and he had 6 months off of the road, and he decided to give back, and it was a remarkable class, very simply run. The assignment every week was come in with a new idea, a new song, at least a verse or two, and he would come in with a new verse or two as well. Wow. And we would discuss song structure and all that. It was fantastic, and the main gist, the gold nugget that I came away with was that all of the stories have been told. It's the way you tell your story that is sort of your stamp of authenticity. So that's what I teach when I give master classes. Yeah.
Interesting.
Wonderful.
So tell us about your master classes. I think you froze. And oh, there you are.
Here I am. Sorry. Were you asking about the master classes?
Yes.
Yeah, I give master class. Well, I taught at USC at the Thornton School of Music for a couple of years. I was invited there, and now I give master classes usually when I'm performing in a theater on a university campus. So I'll give a master class the night before, and it's very touching.
How lovely is that?
Great.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
What an honor for the students too.
Oh, absolutely.
Plus, if you're going to do all that traveling, you might as well get as much trip.
Exactly.
Well, the mysterious through line is I really remember what it was like to be 17 and just starting out. They can't imagine what 47 years into a career is like. So I can share stuff with them from my long shadowy view.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah. So do you have a standout, breathtaking moment from your career that sort of shines a beacon?
I have several. I have several. Yes, I met Paul. He was hosting with sweet late Linda. Yes, he was hosting a party at the Harold Lloyd Estate when I first came out to California. And by the way, I do have every single signature here.
Oh my!
Plus,
wow.
Plus the ticket stub from when I went to see the Dear Boys, at.
Wow! Look at that. That's
Wonderful.
Incredible.
Years old.
Wow.
Yeah. So that was pretty thrilling. But anyway, years later, I was invited to this party, and Paul and the late.
She's got it. I think.
They were hosts, and Paul greeted everybody, every single fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's very good at that. I mean, that was.
And it was just lovely to meet him. And of course, I've met Precious Ella Fitzgerald. She was one of my psychic musical godmothers. She and Judy Garland. And so I've met remarkable people. I've sung the music of remarkable friends. I've written with remarkable people. So I've been blessed in many ways.
Well, but you give it back, so
exactly. You have so much to offer yourself, and you share. Yeah.
Thanks.
No, that's
lovely.
That's how the universe works.
I'm very interested. Sorry, Ruth. My turn.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
When I looked through your galleries to see a photograph of you at a women's prison, how did that come about, and what was the, your overall feeling, how you were able to help these ladies?
Yes, I have a very dear friend, Laurel Coffer, who created a program called Prison of Peace, based on the concepts of restorative justice. And she works, but originally she just was working in the women's maximum security prison. And she said, "Would you like to come visit?" So I went with her, and I saw the exercises she was doing with these women who had been abused, who had been neglected, who had been abandoned, who had been in terrible circumstances to literally raise themselves ever since they were children. And I saw the transformative power of intentional listening and all of the other exercises that she asks them to sign a contract to participate in, so that they, as their goal, to become certified mediators, so that they can then move forward what they have learned in the prison yards, and that statistically the violence goes down in the prison yards after about a year of their training, because they pay it forward. And at one point I was so moved by what she was doing, because the motto of her program, Prison of Peace, is changing serving life to a life of service. And I was inspired. Yes, I know, it brought me to tears. And after I was able to meet some of them and listen to some of their stories and see what it was their life was like, I was moved to write a choral piece, which I sang with them. And there's a video of it. Right. The song is called Beloved, and I taught it to their choir, and it was amazing. And trying to get a grand piano into a maximum security prison at 11 in the morning to do a concert is no easy feat.
Not an easy feat.
But if anyone can do it,
And that's my
Me and my little elf.
I tell you what, this particular prison is no longer a women's prison because evidently the rate of crime and
recidivism, it's gone down.
I can't say recidivism, but I'll try.
Well done.
Dropped so much that it is now, in recent years, it's become a men's prison. What does that tell you about the sexes, huh? Hey.
Well, what I know to be true is that women prisoners are mostly a forgotten lot. They don't get visitors. They don't have fan clubs like the men do.
Yeah.
Men have fan clubs. They get conjugal visits sometimes.
Really?
They are apparently consistently visited by ones near and dear to them. Women really have to create their own village within the walls.
Wow, that's amazing. Yeah. Speaking of amazing songs and causes, talk to us about, we're involved with the Linda McCartney breast cancer. Talk to us about the power of ribbons.
Yes, of course. Power of Ribbons was written about, I wrote that about my friend Nancy Colton, who lost her battle to breast cancer. But prior to that, we would walk with she and her family. Her mom is my dear friend Harriet Wasserman. And I was so moved by her journey. And after walking in several of those Revlon walks for breast cancer research to support that, I was moved by that symbol of that tiny little satin pink ribbon with the even tinier safety pin holding it together, and the power of that symbol galvanizing millions and millions and millions of people, women, men, children, grandmas and grandpas in support of breast cancer research, that I was moved to write Power of Ribbons, which is downloadable, and it's the only song that I've ever composed where all of the royalties go to breast cancer research.
That is just absolutely fantastic.
I tell you what, I lost count of how many albums you've made. I got up to about 21, I think. And
this is, yes, The Fellas is my 21st, yeah?
Yeah, is it really, Fellas? Yeah. Fabulous. Good for you.
So how did you come to choosing the songs, and tell us about the Citrus Valley College Orchestra? They're incredible.
Yes, wonderful, aren't they?
They're remarkable. Yes, thank you for mentioning them. I'm artist in residence at this community college called Citrus College, which is a perfectly lovely community college where you can learn to be a nurse's aide or learn about auto repair. But they have this jewel in the crown of their arts department, a magnificent theater, and an astounding state-of-the-art recording studio where I've recorded my last two albums, my most recent, The Fellas, and the one before that, You Gotta Love the Life. And The Fellas was the completion of an idea that I started in 1989 when I recorded an album called Tribute, which was my tribute to several of the great women singers that meant everything to me, like Ella and Judy and Rosie and Piaf and Billie Holiday. And I always wanted to complete the idea with a project called The Fellas, paying tribute to the great men, Sinatra, Nat Cole, Tony Bennett. And the dean of the school asked me if I could think of a project that would use their Blue Note Orchestra, their student orchestra, which is made up of students, alums, and professors. And I said, funny you should ask. And so we did. We recorded 8 tracks in one day. It was just a whirlwind. They were so magnificently trained. I just came back from Hawaii performing with them, and they are a complete blessing in my life. So yes, so that
it's a win-win situation for them and for you, isn't it? And for us.
Finally, it manifest, and it's my 21st album.
Where is Citrus College for anybody who's interested?
Citrus College, it's in Glendora, California, which is about 50 minutes southeast of Los Angeles.
Wow.
Yes.
That's amazing. Yeah, no, I was absolutely blown away. I mean, who did the arrangements for that record?
I had different arrangers. I had my dear friends Peter Hume, Doug Walter, David Catalan, who did the big horn section for Love Is Just Around the Corner and Ain't That a Kick in the Head. And David is an alum of Citrus College. He's yes, it's just wonderful. So it's the gift that keeps on giving.
Yeah, that's
so. How did you come to be the Attorney General of
Encino?
Is
that true?
Well, I'm no longer, but yes, it was an honorary naming by a friend of mine who used to be, I don't know, the sheriff, the honorary sheriff.
Okay,
but it's meaningless yet delightful.
I know, it's wonderful. I tell you what, when I was researching you, I found out that your birthday is the same day as my daughter Ruth.
Yep.
And your
mother's
fun. And my daughter's name is Ruth.
Yeah, so my name is Ruth. Your mother's name is Ruth, correct?
I mean,
it's exactly right.
Circle of life. Come on.
Yeah.
Is that the universe trying to tell?
Wow.
You
6 degrees of separation. Yes.
Yeah,
you, Jane Seymour, and me.
Yes, that's right.
That's exactly right.
And they can eat your heart out.
Yeah, exactly. Never mind. Degrees.
Oh my God.
Yes.
We should aim for a photo together one day.
What else I wanted to know about? I read somewhere that you had done the voice of Yoko Ono in a Lampoon thing called Magical Misery Tour. How?
Yes.
Tell me more.
Well, I went to NYU School of the Arts for 1 year, and while I was there, in the class a year or two ahead of me, I met the great and brilliantly talented Chris Guest and Tom Leopold. Wow. And they knew that I was a singer and a young singer-songwriter and that I played piano. So they brought me in on this project of the National Lampoon Radio Dinner album, where I played the voice of Yoko Ono and did a spoof on Desiderata, the famous prayer, and it was called Deteriorata. And it essentially said you are a fluke of the universe, and whether you can hear it or not, the universe is laughing behind your back.
That's lovely. I had a brief experience with Lampoon a couple of years ago. I was part of a 6-week improv class. I mean, I was 86 or something at that age. And all these young kids, filmmakers and comedians and artists, they were just, they wondered, what on earth is this old fart doing with us? But it was, I was terrified. I thought I was going there just to observe and suggest things. But oh no, I was dragged up on stage the first night and made to.
Yes, terrifying, isn't it?
Terrifying, but what fun and what great people! It was a really interesting experience.
So you're anybody who's watching is looking at the world's oldest lemming.
Yes, that's right.
Very good.
Went to a Harlette.
You were a Harlette once upon a time, yes?
Well, I was the founding member of the Harlettes.
Oh,
yes.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my!
Yes, I was. Yes, I met Barry Manilow. We were both jingle singers.
Right.
Oh, I see.
And he told me about this new girl that he was the new music director for, Bette Midler, and she had just been on the Johnny Carson show and tore the place apart. And he brought her in from the club that they were working at to the club I was working at on their night off, and they watched my set. And afterwards, I was introduced to her and. I told her how excited we all were for her, because in those days we were a pile of singer-songwriters trying to get a break. Yeah. So anybody in our crowd that could get a break, it was really, we were all very excited and supportive of. Yep. And I asked her what she was doing next, and she said she was getting ready for Carnegie Hall to play there for the first time. And I said, oh, that's interesting. Are you going to have any background singers? And she took a beat and she said, I don't know. Would you like to sing in back of me? And I said, actually, I'd like to sing instead of you, but I'd be happy to sing in back of you. And so Barry and I created the Harlettes, and I was the toots in the middle for about 6 months. And it was brilliant working with her. Incredible.
Yes. That is amazing. That's so nice of you to say that, all boats rise on the same tide. You were supportive of anybody in that crowd and I'm sure that.
Well, it was a very exciting time to be in New York City. I mean, you would just stumble over adventures. I mean, that was my experience anyway. I worked in street theater. I was a jingle singer. I just did all kinds of. I was a gopher for the first season of Sesame Street. I parked cars for a theater company. They didn't know that I didn't know how to drive. I didn't tell them. And so, it was just remarkable time.
Yeah, well, I mean, you said yes and then thought, oh God, how can I do that? Ruth?
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. I lived in the world of yes. That's exactly right.
I know.
Yeah. No, I got my Teamster card as a truck driver by completely lying, saying I could back up an 18-wheeler and do a 45-degree turn and park it in traffic on Sunset. And they said, okay, do it. And so I did it. And then I was like, oh, thank God I did that and didn't scrape the boss's Mercedes. And then they gave me.
Excellent.
So, sounds like we're all built to the the same stuff. It must be that February 15th thing.
Probably, yes.
No question. Absolutely. We make our own rules.
That's right. So what's in the hopper for the future? Apart from, I know you're going to Feinstein this week, New York.
Yes. Well, you're right. Well, I'm on the road all the time. I'm finishing up work on a new choral piece that I've written. I have a new musical that I wrote with the great Rupert Holmes and Sharon Vaughn called The Sweet Potato Queens, which is currently being licensed by TRW. So hopefully you will see it somewhere in the United States somewhere at some time.
Fantastic.
Do you ever?
So
do you ever have time to sleep with all the things you've done and are doing?
Oh, I have plenty of time to sleep because if I'm not working, I'm essentially unemployed. So.
Well, there's that. Yeah.
Welcome to no business.
So listen,
Yeah, exactly
all
right.
your friends where they can find everything about you.
Obviously, there's Manchester.com.
Yes, melissamanchester.com. Yes. All the news that's fit to print and photos and videos and news of where I am, tour dates and stuff.
Super.
Wonderful.
But I'm just thrilled to be here and to talk with you, Miss Angie and Miss Ruth.
Well, thank you so much.
I'm going to come and squeeze my fat ass in a bit now and say the folks.
Hi, girls.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
Thank you so very much for joining us today.
It's wonderful.
We usually, you probably haven't seen any of these broadcasts, but we finish with a silly, we used to finish with a ditty, but Facebook has decided that they're copyright and so that we can't
we were
do that.
seeing Howard songs and, funny cabaret stuff like that.
So,
Facebook, no.
So we usually, now we're finishing with a limerick because we figured out that there's no copyright on these. So you could either hang up and go about your busy day or
cucumber on your eyes and ice in your beverage. And
No, I want to listen to your limerick because in case I need to chime in with a perfect rhyme, I'm your girl.
Oh, well, speaking of perfect rhyme, here's a really good one. There was an old man of St. Bees who was stung in the arm by a wasp. When asked, does it hurt? He said, no, it doesn't. I'm just glad it wasn't a hornet.
That's not funny.
Which, of course, doesn't rhyme at all.
Oh, Martin.
No.
Not funny. Martin knows.
Aren't you glad I didn't say orange?
Nothing rhymes.
Not even orange, no.
No, exactly.
So here's another one.
So this is for any of you math students out here. A dozen, a gross, and a score, plus 3 times the square root of 4, divided by 7, plus 5 times 11, is 9 squared and not a bit more. So there's your math question for the week. See if we're lying.
Okay. So listen, we'll let you go now. You've been very good. You get good behavior.
We just
thank you, Melissa, so much.
To meet you. Seriously.
It was delightful to speak with you. Thank you so much for having me in your living room.
Our pleasure. And thank you to Amanda.
You will. Yes, I'm taking her to dinner soon.
Oh, good.
And all you New York,
all
you New York folks this weekend at 54 Below at Feinstein's, New York, don't miss this incredible lady.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you all. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.